pretty short, Chrissy, sorry.
Oh no, it's okay. Whitney's shorter than you.
Actually,
That's
I don't know
great,
about that.
yeah.
She's younger than me.
Okay, well, you know. Okay. I mean, yeah, this is great. Okay. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Good. I love a good variety show, and this is definitely a good variety. When I first came into Flagstaff about a month ago, I did comedy at the museum room, and I was the variety of that show. It was mostly old guys playing really old country. They were great. And then I got up there and started telling sex jokes. I was the only comedian. They didn't understand anything I was saying. I was talking about how I'm addicted to taking personality tests and that I've taken almost all of them. The one that I'm a little apprehensive to take is the are you a sociopath or psychopath test. Because all the other ones keep telling me that I'm an asshole, and I'm like, I don't know, the population is the sociopath and psychopaths are rising in the population, I don't know. But it just went over. They were like, Myers-Briggs? Who's that, honey? I don't know, what's an engram? I don't think she's a psycho, do you, sweetheart? No, I think she's just running out of place. and I really was. I just blared on. I started talking about trying to date this really hot Muslim guy, but then he wouldn't have sex with me, and so I had to break up with him. And he had no problem with blowjobs, none whatsoever. I've never read the Quran, but apparently Muhammad never says, "Thou shalt not get your dick sucked before marriage." Apparently it's not in there. I just kind of had to take his word for it, you know. He did have an issue with going down on me. It just never happened. Apparently eating pussy ain't halal. So yeah, basically, I was just grossing the fuck out of this crowd, these poor sweet old people at the museum room. But the great thing about traveling and doing comedy is that I can just make a total ass out of myself and then just move on to the next city. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to Albuquerque. So yeah, it's great. The last place that I actually lived was Bellingham, Washington. It's north of Seattle. It's a college town. It's actually really similar to Flagstaff, probably similar brewery per capita ratio. It's a little bit bigger in population. A lot of hippies. And these hippies are not you guys hippies. These are deep hippies, hippies. And they have, every week, they have a sushi party. And everybody just brings these random ass ingredients from the food bank. And because if you're hippie enough, you could just wrap anything into seaweed and call it sushi and have a great time. There's not even any alcohol at that sushi party. And this house where this tradition started is called the Sushi House. And it's a triplex. And first they rented the middle floor. And there's probably one person on the lease, and then they just started splitting up the living room into dividing it off with tapestries or renting out closets. It's just hippie squalor. And very quickly the people below them with all this going on above them, they moved out. And so the hippies take over the bottom floor. And then the people at the top floor, they held out for quite a while. I want to say years, because they had a wonderful deck and a view of the bay, but eventually, no matter how nice the view, they were just we gotta get the fuck out, with all the cesspool of with weirdness brewing below them. And so the hippies took over the whole triplex, and there was probably 30, I don't know, maybe even 50. They don't even know how many people were living there. It was just insane, total mayhem. And surprisingly, they developed a mouse problem. And so naturally they got a cat. And as soon as they got this cat, it just disappeared into a hole in the wall, and they never saw it again. Like, it was just in the wall, just like eating mice, getting fat on mice, and they think maybe it couldn't get back out the same hole because it got so fat on mice. Like, nobody really knows. But they still had a mouse problem, so they went to go get another cat. But the Humane Society was like, wait a minute, what happened to the cat we just gave you? And I actually don't know. I don't know the end of the story. It's just one of those like classic Bellingham tales, you know, the fable of Wallcat, you know. Yeah, and so another thing that Bellingham has going on is they have a naked bike ride. Do you guys have a naked bike ride around here? Like Phoenix, Tucson? No? Okay, yeah, it's like New York, San Francisco, Seattle. I mean, you know, Bellingham is actually like a smaller city, but like of course they have one. You know what I mean? Like it's just part of the culture. So one year at the naked bike ride, there's this guy that like shows up and he's like super gung ho to do the naked bike ride. Everybody's just like, you know, body painting themselves, like hanging out, and this guy like comes up, he like really wants to do the naked bike ride, but he doesn't have a bike. And my friend Zach, who's organizing the thing, like he's like a super hardcore nudist. Like everybody just calls him Naked Zach. He shows up to parties wearing a loincloth, like he's a character. And like he had like a difficult decision to make. Like, you know, it would be hard to say no to this guy that's just like so enthusiastic about being naked, you know? And so he didn't say no. He said, sure, you can totally just run alongside the bike ride and it will be fine. Like it'll just fit right in. It's human powered, right? But Bellingham is a very hilly place. So as soon as the bike brigade goes down the first hill, like it just, the guy just can't keep up. And he's just a naked guy running down the street. And, you know, he's just like, can't keep up. He's just running. And he gets arrested, you know, for like indecent, you know, exposure, whatever. And there's this fundraising, like benefit party to help pay for his bail to get out of jail. And the admission for this party is sliding scale. So totally naked, get in free. Fully clothed, $5. And everything in between. And so I'm not much of a nudist, but I'm also kind of cheap, and I'm not shy. And I think this guy's kind of a fucking moron, so like I don't really care about contributing to his cause. I just stay in jail. Like you're a fucking idiot, you know? Like I said, I'm an asshole. But I brought my daughter with me, and she was 6 at the time. So I paid $1 so she could wear underwear. I'm a good mom, you know what I mean? What I did not consider was that everybody else at this party was also cheap and not shy. So like nobody was wearing clothes. Like it was just like packed naked people. And you have to get through the kitchen to get anywhere else, and everybody congregates in the kitchen. So what I did not consider is that my daughter's 6. She's just like eye level, just like dicks. Just like eye level all the dicks. So we're just like wading through the kitchen of dicks. We just like sit on the couch, collect ourselves, and she realizes that there's all the kids are outside climbing trees in their underwear. So she finds her scene. And I'm just like sitting on this couch, like questioning my decision to not pay $1 for underwear. Like I'm just like, this is like, so it's a sketchy ass couch, you know what I mean? So I end up in the kitchen with everybody else. And you know, the thing about parties, crowded parties when you're wearing clothes, like when you bump into people, it's no big deal. When everybody's naked, it's like suddenly a really big deal. Like, you know, like people would just like just very like lightly, accidentally like bump my boob, and they'd be like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, you know. It's just like the weirdest, awkwardest, most bizarre thing. So the moral of the story is there's a time and a place for clothes. Like, I like to wear clothes when I ride a bike, honestly. I don't like to wear clothes when I'm in a hot spring. Like, parties, that's a time and a place to wear clothes. All right, that's my time. Thank you very much.